Welcome everybody to the two-man power trip, the black man starting the nerd lifestyle. I'm Nicholas, Mr. Go with the Flow,
And I'm the man with the plan, Maurice.
and we're back with another edition of the Blerd By Nature Podcast. What's up?
What's good, bro? What is good?
What is goody? Popping.
Right? It feels like it's been a little bit, huh?
I know, it's been kind of a back and forth motion between February and March.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I guess we can step into our first segment, Vibe Guys. So, what's up? How's been the back and forth, the weekends, weekdays, and all that stuff?
You know what? The back and forth, the weekends has been chill. They've been okay. Honestly, the weekdays have been, I can't complain. They have not been stressful. Work has been somewhat quiet
What's up?
in terms of just work.
Yeah.
So it's been a good couple weeks.
Oh, okay. So at least you're getting stuff through. Stuff is going well. Things is maneuvering. I mean, like on my end, it's kind of been likewise the same BS stuff at work, but for the most part, it's the house is getting things in order. The my team is pretty much good. We was doing silly stuff for St. Patrick's Day today and took group photos and stuff like that. Like we have stuff in order, even though they come for us all the time, but I mean we stay ready, so it's kind of that situation.
Okay. So let's see. So we've been going for 2 weeks. How's your week been so far? Otherwise, from the St. Patrick's Day shenanigans.
Otherwise, yeah, just the team has been on the up and up for the most part. Been chilling for the most part. Just kind of doing the thing. Last maneuvers we was all doing was when we went to go see the Batman last Tuesday. Yeah.
Good movie, y'all. We recommend. Good movie.
Yeah. Definitely good stuff. And then we got the Jujutsu Kaisen movie coming up this Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So we got those maneuvers and stuff like that. So that's what's up. So far it's been between that. Before then, I mean, we had the AEW pay-per-view party and stuff like that. That's pretty much that.
Yeah, that was cool. Too damn long, but it was cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the weather for the most part has kept us chilling, so it's kind of been just on the leniency so far.
Yeah, New York and this weather that wants to do whatever the heck it wants to do any other day.
Yo, it's supposed to be 72 tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we gotta see, and then rain and thunderstorm or something Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday, I'm like,
I don't know.
I hate you, New York weather. I hate you so much.
They back and forth, annoyance. And then Sunday is the start of spring, so we about to be up in the spring now.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
I ain't seen ice cream trucks yet.
That how did daylight savings? Oh yeah, daylight savings hit you when we lost that hour.
F daylight savings, yo.
Ooh boy, these days is flying. These days is super flying, bro.
Yo, I need my hour back. This is bullshit.
I for the first time ever, I see how bad that could affect somebody. Cause I saw Kenya's sister. She set her alarm for 2:00, and that shit was wild to me because I completely forgot that once it hit like 2:00, it ran to 3:00, and in that hour she had to get ready and prepare to leave for work. So she set the alarm for 2:00, only to realize by the time you wake up, you already kind of late because it pushed forward to 3.
Yeah, that's the PS. All them overnights.
Yeah. I didn't even think of that shit for 2 seconds until I was still up watching stuff, and then I saw that shit shift over. I was like, oh no, that's wild. When you don't put that shit in your head, you're like, oh fuck.
Yep. My sister, she works overnight, so she had to stay an extra hour. I was like, oh, I feel for you.
Well, I mean, with mom working overnight and stuff like that, she saw that hour fly by, so that was big help on her. So
yeah, so F you daylight savings time. I'm tired of you taking away this hour.
Facts. I mean, how your body feeling in motion going to work and stuff like that with stuff moving fast.
Or when it happened on Monday, I got up, I was just annoyed. I was like, oh, yeah, because I knew I lost an hour. I was like, shh.
Only upside is we got more sunlight at least.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
With New York weather, we'll see. We'll see. It's like clouds like, nope. Sorry,
oh,
you
know facts. I mean, today was foggy as shit.
Right? New York weather said, F what you want to do. This is what we gonna do.
Pretty much. You already know we're at the mercy of Mother Nature for the most part.
Yep.
All right. So switching over, we got the shout out section. Pull up these shout outs. So for the pod shout outs, starting first, my girlfriend, the Captain Kenya. Shouts to her. Black Ramen Podcast, karaoke coming up. We about to get big lit over in Brooklyn for y'all, and we're at that Brooklyn spot. We about to go off that night, so that should be fire. Next, Santai Fountain of Knowledge, Peter. Respect always. Next, we got Jabatia's podcast, the Mania Party coming up. About to be lit for that too. We got Saison Sessions, Your Sports Show, True Heel Heat, 2.5 Bros, Grace Space, Eli coming through, Respect, coming through soon. It's Relational, hosted by Kimar. You out here, big respect, bro. Keep it at 9,000. Yo, y'all got the big interviews. Every time I get updated with something, y'all interviewing some big timers. So I give y'all all the shout outs and praise on that. Spicy Ramen Podcast as always. FTOY Shonen Tape Podcast. RX Superstar. I hear you, Judy. My picture's coming soon, so that's lit. That's lit.
Mm-hmm.
Bad Guy Jackety, Unpopular Review, always coming through. Respect to the brother. Nerding Out with Chelsea. Fantastic Frankie with the Fits. Nido Cafe in Chicago, created by Miss Taylor Tillman. Shout outs to best special supporters for us. Chef Q, Will, Kareem, Spirit that got the birthday coming up. Happy almost birthday. Big respect on you. Josh, Ryan, Lord 69, Katie, Nate, Andre, Linguistics, Nakia, and the homie Darnell. And your list?
So many people. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Like I said, the list grows. It's great. I appreciate it. As always, thank you to everyone, because I will be here and this segment will get really, really long.
Yup.
Going through everyone. I want to thank just everyone that's been rocking with us from day one. Everyone that sent us messages and feedback and reviews. Thank you, everyone. We're trying just to keep up with everything and hopefully just give y'all some consistently good content.
Facts, when we can, because it's just us out here doing it. So when we can, we can.
Yes.
All right. So switching over to our second segment, we are back at Off the Cuff. Now, before I start any of the things that I probably have on Off the Cuff, do you have anything you want to speak of that you want to bring to the table?
No, not at the moment.
Oh, okay. All right, so I have ideally one of two here. Okay, have you done anything majorly that's been on your bucket list that you've been wanting to do for like a while, or like something that's been a big set up on your bucket list that you've been able to accomplish?
Not this year.
Okay, but what's a major thing on your bucket list though?
Oh, to get this license.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that's still in progress.
So that's definitely. But it's, I mean, glad that you're still working through it, and it's a big up on your bucket list for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got that. The one that I always look back and scratch off was definitely the skydiving thing. I wanted to make sure that was scratch off like a while back. I didn't know how early I was gonna eventually get to do that, but I was happy. Okay. Situations kind of roundabout its way to allow me to go through that opportunity and survive. So hey,
yeah, you made it out of the air into the ground.
Facts. There's another one, a little bit off the cuff. So I wanted to get your opinion on this. This is before we get into reboot news, but it's kind of like a reboot rant. How do you feel about the reboots that start shifting into like a meta kind of feeling? So I was talking to Kenya the other day about this, but how do you feel about like the reboot culture that starts to comment on reboot culture? Like they talk about reboots so far as like them being a meta commentary on the internet's reactions to reboots, like words like requel, where they have reboots that are actually also sequels of series, but they like have legacy characters trying to be with new casts and stuff like that, and like in the movie they make commentary about being reboots. Like it's no longer about a separate story, they also talk about them being reboots of a reboot.
That's where things get murky.
Yeah. Because I now see reboots have become apparent so often that in a lot of series they tackle the actual notion of reboots now because there's so many reboots.
Yeah, that's always murky water. I'm not really a fan of it. If you're going to be a reboot, be a reboot. If you're going to be a prequel, be a prequel. I don't like the muddying of those two specific areas.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna do it, do it.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be something else, that's fine. Just be something else.
Also, a lot of places do a lot of like meta commentary and breaking the fourth wall, so it no longer feels fun in movies because I feel like we've hit that point where everybody is starting to do it. So at that point, nobody feels special.
Yeah, its uniqueness has definitely worn off.
Yeah, it's like everybody's become too smart for their own britches, so it kind of like ruins any kind of creative nature in your own kind of story. You don't come up with a story anymore. You just comment on the fact of what it's going on. Like, it's no longer about you creating a new story about anything. It's about the what goes on behind the scenes of why you even do a reboot.
And I guess that goes back to the fundamental problem with the reboots that you're trying to recreate something that's already existed, and why you always want to push for new content and new stories.
Definitely, I'm gonna keep my eye out for this new Chip and Dale because they kind of do that. So I'm curious on to see how they take it and how they want to work towards that subject because we have stuff like the latest Scream movie that does similar situations like that, and I just kind of stopped and thought to myself, I'm like, this is kind of annoying me now. So I'm gonna see if Chip and Dale's kind of do their own thing or they kind of go towards that kind of conversation because that's kind of what the trailer led to, which was kind of interesting. But let's see if they tackle it in their own interesting way.
Yeah, it's gotten to the point where now, if you're going to do that, you have to really sit back and figure out a unique way to do it because it's been done by everybody at this point.
Exactly. So we gotta see how people try to like shift this game before it becomes a norm that everybody's just talking about their own thing while in their thing.
Yep. Exactly.
Right. So shifting off the cuff, shifting from the table, we got our small subsection discussion. Do you have any latest reboot news that has come towards the table?
I'm trying to think.
I know it's been a while, but there's been stuff that like flies through the table that just goes under the radar sometimes. So things that we probably had at one point is probably slipped off the table. So I don't have anything on reboot news this time.
Yeah, nothing that's really piqued my interest. Nothing to say, oh, interesting.
Yeah, and then same kind of goes for Stark News since we're still dealing with the situation with Ukraine and Russia.
Listen.
Yeah, that's been really shifting everything from the banks, the stocks. They'll update you on, well, you know, what's the situation, and you know, crypto and its life in Russia is taking a hit, especially with everything trying to cut off connections from Russia. So,
listen, stocks is down, my crypto's in the toilet.
Yeah,
the only thing that's up is gas prices.
Tesla people are living right now.
Oh yeah, they can.
And then on top of that, how do you feel about Pirate Bay's decision to give all access to Russia? So that just makes it even funnier with everything cutting itself off. But like Pirate Bay is like, well, we can help y'all.
Yo, I'm not even surprised.
That's funny. They get in where they fit in. They was like, y'all illegal, we illegal.
You know what? And that kind of ties into something too.
All right.
And this goes back to what we were talking about way back when we were talking about the streaming services. And talking about how we were going to get to a point where everybody had a service and everybody would have charged this and that. I've been hearing rumbles about how Netflix wants to offer a free tier with commercials and stuff like that.
Yeah, I heard not even just Netflix. I heard that they starting to shift that more. Disney Plus as well.
Yep, and we're going to get back to this point where I see it coming now, where piracy is going to come right on back.
Oh yeah, I seen that meme. A lot of people was talking about commercials, and they was like, nah, you're not doing this.
Because we've been through this with cable, where it got to the point where the only reason that people went with streaming because it's the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
But these streaming services keep pushing the envelope.
Oh yeah. What was it? Netflix, I think, announced just recently that they're gonna start charging people extra for use of people sharing their accounts
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. So that's pushing that as well. I mean, this is just it's becoming more and more an issue. And then on top of it, can we talk about like these streaming services like eating? I the more news I start to follow, it's starting to like combine monopolies on a big flow because all right,
Mm-hmm.
so Crunchyroll fused with Funimation, so
Mm-hmm.
Crunchyroll took all the Funimation stuff, so
Mm-hmm.
that makes them bigger. I just heard what today Amazon bought MGM Studios for about a couple $1 billion, so
Oh
they
wow.
own all of that movie selection and the movies going forward, and that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got I heard what was it I think it was it Paramount? I think it was Paramount and Discovery. I think fusing into one. So that's gonna be their own streaming service, and I hope that becomes more apparent for Paramount to own that. So that's turning into its own fusion as well. It's like a lot of places are eating a lot of places now.
Yeah, and honestly, no, I don't think it was Paramount. I think it was HBO.
It was HBO. Okay.
I think
Yeah,
it was
yeah, you're
HBO and
right.
Discovery. Yeah.
Warner Media. Yep. Yeah, you're right. So I mean, with that, you're hoping that they stick with the HBO Max
That's what it sounds like from what I heard is that they're gonna just fold everything into HBO Max.
as they should.
Unless
HBO
unless
Max
they
is the
wants to
bigger.
be a dick and just have it combined and they want to charge for both.
That is
So
nuts.
and like I said, that's what we're getting to that point where I can see that the old ways will return,
Shit's crazy.
just like we went to a cable. Because like I said, once you get to that point where you got all these streaming services, we're getting, if we're not already there, we're back to what cable prices are. Once we start adding everything up. So it ain't looking good out there, folks. It ain't looking good.
Stuff is continuing themselves just like that. Shit. So.
Yep, something got to hit the fan with everything going up. Something's got to
Yup.
hit the fan.
You think all these mergers are good until you realize that shit hit you like a brick.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But all right, so that's closing off our small section discussions on all the stuff, and we shift over. So it's time for the main event. The main event segment of the evening. Third segment, A Shot of Kurosake. We doing an anime review. This week we are tackling Afro Samurai episode 1 and 2. Let's kick it to the notes.
Yes.
Alright, so fast fact in history. Let me give y'all off some Afro Samurai information. So it is a Japanese seinen doujinshi manga. We are inspired by the love of soul and hip hop music and American media for this show. It's an anime TV series owned around Funimation, Madman, and Manga Entertainment produced. This sort of media falls on. It used to go on TV of MTV, Spike, Adult Swim, and even Bravo. It ran from January 4th to February 1st, 2007. It's been a long time. I tackled this a couple of times, and I keep forgetting that it was only 5 episodes. I dubbed this as the good Yasuke. Samuel L. Jackson is a main character, which, I mean, it goes back to that one YouTube video that he did where everybody had asked him if he enjoyed anime, and then I guess that completely proved that everybody forgot that he was in this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and basically the plot is child sets off on a revenge plot after their parent was killed in a hierarchy plan. Pretty much like outside looking in. So, you got any notes yourself?
No, not on this actually, which is wild.
Okay. Alright, so let's step into episode 1, Revenge.
All right, so episode 1, Revenge. Here we go. Mm-hmm. All right, so the first thing we get is the episode starts with the Gonzo logo, which I have not heard in a long time.
Nah, there's so many shifts that when I started watching this, I was like, yo, this feels old.
Right, and it had the old Funimation logo. I'm like,
yeah. And and it looked old.
Yo, it did. this really felt like, oh yeah, we going back in time here.
Yeah. You ever want to test an old anime head knowledge? That's it. That's it. Them logos. You show these kids them logos, and they like, what is that?
Like, what is Gonzo? I was like, oh man, let me tell you.
That's like when you finish off Digimon and they play that Fox Kids where it looked like the We Are the World logo.
Yes.
Oh,
Good throwback. Good throwback.
Yep.
So the next thing we see this mountain with some hands.
yeah, we in this abyss-looking land.
Yeah. And so camera zooms in, and we get our first intro to Rokotaro. And his son Afro, who's holding his hand.
Yep.
Right. So Rokotaro tells Afro, he tells him to wait here, son. He's like, it'll soon be over. And he lets go of his hand and he walks off.
My son got his son parked.
So then we get our intro to Justice.
Looking all kinds of mysterious.
Yeah. And then so he says to Rokotaro, you remember me, number one? And he goes on to say she's been waiting for him for a long time. He's been waiting for this for a long time.
True.
So Rokotaro says he knows, and he says this is going to end here.
So we stepping into something.
Oh, yeah, because then immediately they start scrapping.
Yep. Calls him out by his number, rank of the samurai. And we out here busting it for a samurai versus gunslinger battle.
So that was my first thing. Yeah, so Rokotaro pulls out his sword, and this mofo Justice pull out some guns.
Yep. He said this is the time we on. He said, I challenge you. He ain't said it to a sword battle.
So I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is going on here?
You said you number one. Well, I'm about to test that.
Right, he on some being the keep shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
Facts. Facts.
And so the animation here is nice.
Yeah.
They going in, gore and blood, slash.
Well, I mean, his father's showing off that I mean, he's number one for the reason. He's showing off that talent.
Yep. So as they're scrapping, Rokotaro knocks one of his guns away, Justice's guns.
Yep.
And so at this point, Rokotaro was going in for the kill. And for ways I don't understand, Justice beheads him.
Somehow.
I don't get it. And I was sitting there confused, like, how? How, my G?
He was number one, and he got caught slipping. I don't know how, but he got caught slipping. He looked like he had it handled, but I don't know. He slipped up.
I don't know, but all I know, we see Rokotaro's head flying in the air. We see all the blood from his neck. And Afro's watching all of this at this point, so
he parked his son right there. He thought he was going to be, done stuff, and they was going to go on their way.
So once Rokotaro's head hits the ground, Justice picks it up and takes the headband off it, and then tosses that head towards Afro.
Wild.
And then Justice goes on to some spills talking about he has the title of number one in his hand. He proceeds to take his headband off and put that headband that he took from Rokotaro on his head. Of course, Afro at this point is in shock.
Any kid would be. Talk about dramatic experience into orphanhood. Like, damn.
Now, during all this, apparently Rokotaro was still alive, and he somehow tells Afro to not avenge him,
which is wilder. There's multiple questions going on here, man.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, how you still alive?
What are you connected to say these words, and then on top of that to say those very words as well? Like, I don't think this is up to you anymore, sir. So you started off already lying to me because you said this was going to be a few minutes and then we were going to leave. Now you dead and I'm alone.
Yeah, and so at this point, Justice puts on Rokotaro's headband and he said, "I will rule this world as a god."
So now we're already establishing that the fact that this headband means something huge because if you get the number one spot, he said he can rule this world. So this headband is mighty important to this world.
So at this point, Justice walks over to Afro and he tells him, he says, "It's unfortunate that you had to see this, boy. This moment will always haunt you. You will be consumed by hatred for me." And then he tells him, "Challenge me when you are ready to duel a god."
So tell me that don't sound like Itachi style.
Son, and then he walks off laughing.
That's Itachi style. All this shit screamed Itachi and Sasuke.
And then so we see Afro look at him. And we just see the anger and the hate in Afro's eyes.
This nigga go ahead.
And I'll say after that, he just gave us a glimpse of adult Afro with those same eyes.
Yeah.
And then we got the logo.
And then we got the audacity of the dad talking about "don't avenge me." Like, bro, this seal has already been like broken.
Yeah. So after we got the logo, we see adult Afro. And then we got someone, they don't say who, but he's yelling at him. He's like, this is the end of the road for you, Afro Samurai.
Yeah, that's about to be a recurring theme.
Yep, so at this point, Afro gives no response. And the guy continues. He says, we got 20 men armed to the teeth and you're surrounded. We never said we were going to play fair.
Well, goddamn.
He goes on and says, I got no idea why, but some pretty rich folks want to pay top dollar for that cloth. They're talking about the headband.
Yeah, the number 2.
Yeah. And he's like, why don't you give it up, kid? Again, Afro just looks at him. No response. And then the guy goes on and says, everybody's a tough guy. Okay, have it your way. And then they proceed to attack Afro.
Okay, so let's talk about this cloth situation. So it seems like to get the number 2 or the number 1 cloth, you can challenge the person, but the situation seems that it's like you challenge them, but anything goes. So the moment you kill this person, you just take this motherfucker. So like there's no like challenge with an honor situation where it's just you face them. It's like, yo, it's anything goes. Everybody can jump you at once, and anybody that grabs this shit can rock. Like, that's wild.
Oh yeah, there ain't nothing honorable what happened here.
No, they jumped him like 100 to 1. So it's like, what's the rules? Like, how is it free for all for this damn cloth?
Listen, we saw that when Justice pulled out guns.
Yeah, I get that, but it's like at least it was 1-on-1. This is literally like 20 to 1. They don't give a fuck no more.
Ain't no art there fighting the sword with guns. You don't bring a knife to a gunfight. No.
Yeah, and it's neither, and it shouldn't be 20-on-1. Who's supposed to get this headband if it's 20? Now you won out of the 13, and then you get jumped again. Like, there's no honor to get any of this cloth.
Well, at this point, Afro, he don't care because he done murked everybody.
Yeah,
and they showing it. The gore, the blood, slicing them in half, sticking things
he's showing
in the head.
why he number 2.
Listen, he gave them that work.
Yeah.
And whoo boy, he give him that work. Oh man!
And then on top of that, while this is going down, we got someone watching him in the distance.
Yeah, someone recording and watching his moves. I'm like, oh, okay.
Studying him well.
So at this point, after he done murked everybody and clipped everybody and sliced them all up, he done sheets his sword.
Yep. And they also, as they watch him do his work, they call him the demon who wants to challenge God.
So at this point, the guy that was talking all that smack earlier, he's actually somewhat still alive. How? Again, we don't know. But he starts talking, and he tells Afro that he only took this job because he thought that he was just a legend, just a story to scare little kids. And he tells Afro he's the real deal. And like you said, he's a demon who dares to challenge a god.
Yep.
And so the guy goes on to ask him, like, what the hell do you want? Don't seem to me you're out to make this stinking world a better place. He's like, why you gotta kill my man? Why you gotta kill me?
Y'all came for me. Like I pulled up on you. Y'all had pretty hot talk from before, talking about, yeah, stand your ground. We gonna get this cloth. It ain't personal. It's business. Now it's all, oh, why you gotta kill my men? Nigga, y'all left me with no choice. What y'all thought this was Rurouni Kenshin? I ain't got no reverse blade.
And then he collapses.
Shit. Died mid-chat, nigga.
And then Afro does reply. He says it's nothing personal. It's just revenge, and walks off.
Bing.
Yo. So the next scene, we see Afro walking away. And then we see someone that yells, yo, Afro, that was off the chain. Cold blooded. Damn, motherfucker.
Let's go. SLJ has entered the chat.
Right? And then we get our first intro to Ninja.
To Ninja. This is the better Ninja. Not Ninja or Ninja. That's the nigga you want around.
Yeah, and so he's asking Afro if what he did back there was absolutely necessary. And he's like, I wonder if you got any feeling for human life in you at all.
Well, damn.
So Afro's just ignoring him at this point.
Oh,
and he's like, listen, you gonna stop dissing me. Otherwise, I'm gonna leave your punk ass. Then who gonna have your back? Oh, man.
Yeah, this is the
So Afro continues to ignore him and walk off. And then he tells him he saw some monk-looking, bald-headed motherfucker in the tree chatting on the celly while watching your killing spree. He's like, don't that bother you? Because it sure as hell bothered me.
Nah, they let him go off in the studio, and I love every second of this.
Yeah,
the money was well spent.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Literally, this anime was marketed off. Samuel L. Jackson's in an anime that's bloody, gory, and he get to say motherfucker. Y'all want to watch? Yeah, sure.
So, yeah, boy. So that's a little interaction between them. Mm-hmm. And that shit was wild. That shit was really wild.
So next scene, we got some snitch pulling into a local bar, letting them know that Afro in town. Number 2 is here, and the legend precedes him.
Yeah, there's like the dude with the afro and the lime green, and I was like, oh yeah, they're talking about him, all right.
See, they can talk all that shit, but once again, I'm gonna pull out the comparison. Yasuke, they talking all that kind of racist shit. Like, you can see the difference when we gotta put something towards it. It's like all these people is like, yo, that's the samurai with the afro. Nobody likes saying his black skin. Nobody X, Y, and Z. They cut through the mustard. They just like, hey, that's number 2 heading over here. We know he an afro. That's it.
Yeah, for real. Bro, they just talking all this stuff in the bar. Mm-hmm.
Oh, they talking all types of. They talking all types of foolishness. Talk about, yo, we go handle him. We go. I want next. Da 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 da. Everybody either scared or everybody popping off the mouth. Talk about, yo, I'm gonna go handle this guy.
Yeah, some were shook, some were rich. Some like, yeah, we gonna get this dude.
Mm-hmm. The bar is full of hype and fear. Almost causes a brawl between themselves about it.
Yep, exactly. You know, they're talking all this stuff, and eventually, who walks on in?
Well, even before that, the barkeep lady explains, and she literally gives our exposition on the headbands and the importance of it.
Yeah, she did.
And then Afro walks up in.
Yep. He walks up in, just not all nonchalant.
Mm-hmm. Like, everyone's shocked.
Oh shit!
Orders him a good lemonade.
Oh, shit. Like I said, Afro walked in. Mm-hmm. Like I said, after the barkeep gave her wonderful explanation of the headbands and how the second can challenge the first, and how you got to get the headband.
Yeah, you know, the only important, I guess, then not really 3, 4, none of that. Nobody care about all that. It's all about 2. You could challenge 2 all you want, but only 2 could challenge 1. So.
Yep. And so after that rolled in, he rolled to the barkeep. He asked to get some lemonade.
Yeah, give me that lemonade.
So he get his lemonade, and then old boy wanted to bust up the lemonade.
Shit was a hater fest. My son talking big silly, breaking his lemonade and shit, and he tried to talk all that bullshit, and he sent that boy flying.
So first he tells the barkeep to give him another lemonade and put it on his tab.
Facts.
Then he proceeds to punch old boy with a single punch, send him flying through the wall.
Yep, don't even pay attention to him. Back fist him, send him flying. That nigga Mac.
He's like, hold that. And so what happened next?
He finished his lemonade with a sippy straw.
Yeah. And the bartender told him, listen, his tab is done, and it's gonna cost more to fix that wall.
Oh well, put that all on him.
And so then he just looks around at everybody. He's like, oh, I see y'all want to smoke.
Shit, come on.
And all we hear is, you know, after he drinks out of his sippy straw, of course.
Yep.
Right? He's like, oh, there's some good ass lemonade. It's like refreshing. And then so she says, she's like, good. She's like, you got a long way to go, number 2. This barkeep know a lot of stuff.
That's what I'm saying. People be knowing. These people be chatting on the sides.
Yeah, I'm like, lady, you know a lot. What's your angle?
Yeah. Or do we just need you for exposition?
Yeah, now that she's telling him where to go and whatnot. I'm like, you know a lot of this stuff. Like, you a spy? Like, is this something you're not telling us? Are you number 3?
Shit, let's find out.
So after she gives him the info, you know, Afro thanks her, and he goes on his way. And of course, you know, he's being followed. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's being followed, but the spirit let him know. Ninja let him know that someone following him if he even give a shit.
Yeah, like you said, Ninja let him know. Mm-hmm. Like, yo, you being followed, son.
If you give a shit,
right? He's like, don't look now, but I think you got a stalker. It's like a crazy fanboy from the tea house. And so he just giving him the full one. He's like, this one is a stone killer for real.
Yeah, he introduces himself. He says his name is Shosun, as he's called. Comes to challenge Afro, and he pull out the big shot weapons.
Yeah, but Ninja's going on about, oh, you just gonna ignore me, and your Afro fight told him to shut up.
Yeah, nigga, what? Nigga, he said, I noticed him from across the room. Don't worry, he been following me for a hot minute. If I had time to pay attention, I would have paid attention.
And then he'll Afro, fine, go ahead and get your black ass killed then. I'm like, yeah.
I'm telling you, they sold this show. This is exactly how the video game went when they had this. They turned this show into a small port video game. One of the best parts of the video game was getting tutorial lessons from Samuel Jackson.
Yeah, that way cracking out. Yeah.
The game wasn't that crazy good on gameplay, but I tell you right now, all them lines for Samuel was money.
And then he's like, "But don't say I didn't warn you." Yo,
Get your ass out of here.
Did you cracks me up, yo? Oh man. All right, so Afro turns around. He sees old boy.
Old boy Shosun. He out here talking big talk, and then he pull out big weapons.
Right. So his name is Sojo or something. He comes from the land of the great weapon masters of the West or something.
Whatever.
Right.
Another nigga coming in with another weapon challenging for the number spot.
Right. So he's like, yeah, I got mad weapon. And then Son pulls out a bow and arrow.
A big one.
Yeah, and I'm like, so ain't nobody gonna fight with a sword?
No. Like I said, no honor. You said it, no honor among these thieves niggas. So yeah, go ahead.
Yo, so when he did that, Ninja was like, don't fight this motherfucker. Ninja was cracking me up this whole time because he's like, he got arrows and grenades and shit. You ain't got no chance.
Back, bro.
And Afro like, yeah, okay.
And they commenced to get it on.
Yeah.
So Afro out here blocking and dodging and doing shit as he can. And I mean, this is a swordsman being realistic about dodging, grenades and bullshit and all this other shit. So some of that shit lands, some of the shit cut him. So
yeah.
But my son maneuvered his way and kind of splits the boy easily, regardless. But I mean, he still take damage.
Right, and then so we see that dude. He got number 5 on his head, and he feeling real big about himself.
Yep.
So Afro's headed right for him. He load up another mag. He thinking he got shit on lock, but the only thing he got for his trouble was a sword in his head.
Yep. Handle that.
Yep. Cut him clean through the skull.
Facts.
And it's over for him. He got clipped. So
Yep. So the assassins are still watching him. Big long forehead is part of the array of copy clones because we find out who's on the other side of the chat, and they look like a bunch of hymns, all with different numbers on their faces.
And then here come Ninja like, brother, you did your thing. I thought you was dead for sure.
Shut your ass up.
And then he was like, he goes on to say, I don't know if it's like your natural pheromones or you stink or something like that. But he's like, these assassins is coming to you like flies and shit. So, yo, this is having me cracking up.
Facts.
But like you said, we was just seeing it. Everybody wants this headband. I'm like, damn, this headband that important?
Apparently.
And then so they say we see the organization, and we see them talking, relaying information about what just happened, and they go into this whole spiel like you are among the righteous view and blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
and all
the clones, pretty much the clones is messing with hoes. They chant. They talk about the empty 7 is after him, and they seek supreme power of God. That's
so we don't know why the empty 7 are after him really. Besides the headband,
they seek the power of God. That's it.
Yeah. Right, but it seems there seems to be more to this story, but they're not really telling us much here.
No, this is just the beginning. So they say what they seek. That's about it. They about to jump this nigga. Afro just dropping people left and right because he's just going through this dealings.
Okay, the righteous 7. Okay.
I mean, they a bunch of copy chanting niggas messing with hoes.
Yeah. And them clones was like.
Yep. So in the middle of, so we get back to Afro fighting off vengeance amounts of people because he's just slaying people all day pretty much. But eventually he get caught up because he got stunned by something went off, and he realized that arrow that shot him really hurt him earlier.
Yeah, it looked like that was a poison arrow. So Son is in here tweaking. And
while he tweaked, another big ass enemy roll up on him, and this nigga pull out a whole bazooka. Yeah, yo, this nigga can't catch a break.
Yeah, and then Ninja's like, yo, what's going on? What's going on? Was it something to lemonade?
Sure. I mean, it could have. The way how that lady was giving exposition, like you're right, she could have been number 3. Yep. That shit in his lemonade dropping since nobody playing fair here.
He is one of them boys again. He's injured. I'm gonna get him. Fuck all this.
Big ass nigga pull up a bazooka. Like, come on, man.
And then Ninja's like, hey, can you give a brother a break? Man, it's down. What the fuck?
Yeah, they don't get no fucks.
Nigga's like, I don't care. And it's so funny that Ninja mentioned this. He's like, what about honor and fairness and shit?
Yeah, no. Yeah, they are definitely not one group on this show is about any of that.
He was like, F out of here, son.
Shit.
See, I'm not the only one that was thinking like, yo, like you said, where's the honor and shit? They like, nah, fuck out of here with all that bullshit.
No, that's the energy that they on. So he pull out the bazooka and he shoots straight at Afro. But I mean, I guess with whatever energy he got left, he cut it. But I'm happy that they was realistic with this shit, because even though he cut a bazooka, shit blew up and it still injured him. So like the sword ain't that strong.
And when he pulled it out, he like, Ninja was like, is that a motherfucking RPG?
Dead ass.
Like, Afro, this nigga got an RPG in a box. What the fuck?
I mean, out of all the shit that we've seen today, niggas have been wilding. Not one of them motherfuckers got swords.
Yeah, son, that shit was wild. As he's going off about the RPG, he's like, "What? You not gonna monologue, give a bad guy speech or nothing?" He's like, "What the fuck?
Give me some time, nigga. Give me some breather time. Damn, give me your story. How'd you get here? Why you joined the 7? What you want to do with this headband? What's your goals? What's your dreams? Give me time to breathe."
So I'm like, "Nah, pew."
Shit.
And then, like you said, Afro cut that shit in half. Managed to cut it in half. I'm like, okay.
That's cool, but nonetheless, that shit didn't work because it still blew up and sent him flying.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
We're into this first episode, and it proved that it only got 5 episodes on tap because his ass was already done in. This ain't one of those episodes where he walk out OP and just keep on rocking. This nigga got fucked up this episode.
Yep, and my looking guy is like, what the fuck, man? You gonna fuck up the headband as well? What the hell?
Facts.
That's what
Which is interesting in the whole lineage of this headband and all this shit, especially the way how these niggas be rocking with all this weaponry. You think that shit would have been more damage or something?
I guess some people had more sense not to fuck up the headband.
Or the person defending the headband is stronger than need be. If niggas is throwing grenades and bombs and shit like that, there's no tomorrow.
True. And then we get, so after that, we see Afro falling down and we get our to be continued.
Yep, and we get the instrumental plays, and that takes us out of this first episode.
Yeah, man.
So, my final impression of Trump is first episode is action filled and straight to the point of what's going on, who's the players, what's the point, action going off, clean. It's all about the 2 major players. The Samuel L. Jackson is in true funny ass form as Ninja is killing us each time. He's a highlight to hear anything that he friggin' says in this situation. But Def would follow up on their great adventures in any kind of way. And this cliffhanger, I mean, like I said before, in a lot of first episodes, when you see people, they either be looking weak as shit or they be looking OP as hell. And he reached the balance of being OP as hell, but still realistically getting caught up. We seen this nigga getting tired because he going through like waves and waves of people, and he's still just a swordsman dealing in a world full of like heavy machinery. And I mean, that just took the realistic element straight into this shit. So I respect that.
So my thoughts on this is, I was very like, what in the hell is going on?
Yeah.
I'm like, we got a samurai who is the only one that's using swords. We got mofos pulling out every weapon in the world. We got cell phones and clones and people trying to kill him.
What is the timeline? Is there a timeline?
That's what I'm trying to figure out, because I'm like, where are we? Are we in some kind of time warp?
This definitely Yasuke inspired, because these niggas took the same boat. It was like, well, whatever timeline this is, we're going to enter magic, we're going to enter machinery, we're going to enter mechs, we're going to throw all that shit in there.
So at this point, by the end of this episode, I'm just looking for some type of explanation. So I'm like, okay, hopefully episode 2 gives us some background here, because I'm confused.
Mm-hmm. This world's still confusing. I'm still wondering why a piece of cloth headband makes you control and feel like God. I still don't understand that. How does that own the presidency of the world?
I have no idea, but Ninja is keeping me entertained, so I'm still here.
Facts. especially the mere fact that these friggin' monks that are religious people are trying to get the power of God by getting this cloth. I'm like, bro, what is with this cloth?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, time to head into episode 2.
The Dream Reader.
right. So the way this episode starts, we actually get an intro with some music.
Yo, we got the opening rap by RZA.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang.
So I'm like, okay, all right.
That shit cool.
Your friends was a little pop. I was like, okay.
If you ever going for an anime on the West and try to deal with black people, it's best to get RZA on that shit.
Yep.
Of course, RZA would be on that.
Of
That's
course.
with Samuel L, bro. That's what you need. Put some money on it. Put some money. If you're doing 5 episodes, put some money on it.
Yep. And so now the episode starts as we get a flashback of young Afro being chased by some evil-looking mofos.
Yeah, they trying to get the headband that belonged to Pops.
Yeah. And so they talk about you can't get away, kid. Don't make it hard on yourself.
This kid had a hard knock life.
Yeah, mind you, he's wearing the headband that's like a belt.
Yeah.
So he takes his Pop's sword, and so he's ready to draw the sword. And they tell him, like, yo, you draw that sword, you're dead. Mm-hmm. And so he draws it anyway.
Yep.
And so they murk him, take the headband from him.
Yep.
And then, though, they break the box that Afro was carrying. And then they pull out the head, like, yo, this is a rotten head. What the fuck? Mm-hmm. And then they realize it was the head of his Pops.
Yep. So they go play around with it and then destroy that shit right in front of Afro. Like, he ain't already got enough trauma.
Right? You tell Afro looking all beat up. He done been through some shit.
Yep.
And they throw it. Yeah, they throw it. He grabs it. They destroy it with a pole. Sends him flying into some little house or something.
Yo.
And he gets he lands into something spiky. Yo, this scene is fucked up. It's really fucked up.
Everything about this shit. The last, probably in living terms, the last however long it took for the head to rot and turn into a skull and all that shit, and him walking around with it in a box trying to defend the second headband from all these marauding nutcases is like, imagine this kind of trauma while you being an orphan trying to like work through that shit and survive on your own.
Yep. So at this point he's upside down, something stuck through his side and bleeding out.
Yep.
And we don't know how long he's been there at this point, because next scene we see
he getting some woman nursing Afro back from his injuries.
Adult Afro. Yeah.
Because we get flashback of him getting fucked up, and we continue on to him getting fucked up from before somebody found his ass.
And I don't know, she looked like some kind of clone or some shit, because I don't know what's going on, but she looks sus. The eyes are kind of blue.
People just randomly nice out here in these streets. I don't know about that.
Yeah, right. Ain't nobody that nice. Ain't nobody that nice. So I'm like, what is going on?
So we flip back into the flashback. We see we hear named Gino and his little sister. And they find with their accompanied master finds Afro all toe up, and she holds a like they try and recover Afro, but in the midst of it, like the camera goes on this creepy ass looking teddy bear.
Yeah, and one they're just shocked that he's alive.
I mean, yeah,
that teddy bear was creepy as fuck. I'm not
them closing in on that was like, okay.
So then we clip back to adult Afro, and the lady telling him like, "Yo, stay down. You're wounded, son. You badly wounded."
Yep.
She's like, "Don't worry. I know you're a samurai, because the only samurai would be able to hold on to the sword in the water with the waves and your broken hand. So, listen, you're gonna be alright. You stay here and you relax. You take a nap. And by the time you wake up, I have some food ready." So she's like, "All right, I'm gonna take care of you."
Yep. Lincoln's in prison. She says he's been poisoned. The old girl named is Okiko. She found him. She healed him.
And then here comes Ninja talking about, "Damn, you one lucky dog, Afro."
Yup.
Now, I'm starting to wonder if Ninja is just a figment of his imagination.
Oh, it's been very guaranteed that is, because he just pops up everywhere he just going. Like, nigga, you talking all this shit, but you don't sound like you helping or nothing. So I don't know why you just all over the place. Like he's something. I don't know what the hell he is, but he's definitely all over his mind.
So then we flash back to young Afro, and the master telling him, "Don't worry, Afro. Here in this dojo, we're all orphans, and this is a safe space."
This nigga just be collecting.
And then so we see them training, doing some hoeing, got them digging holes.
Huh.
So they're doing a little training and housework, I guess. Afro's in the corner over there while a little girl trying to cheer him up. And of course, the next scene we see though Afro eating some fish.
Yeah, he trying to eat, but he get pulled into duties. Got a way to keep. He got a way to keep up his strength to catch fish. Otsuru watches him catch fish. And then I guess Afro uses that way to kind of connect with the group.
Right, and then, Ninja's cutting into his ass at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So, wow, look at you looking all right-eyed and bushy tail. Got your little resort going on here. Fish relaxation. yo, he had me cracking up this whole little scene because he's going in. He's like, yeah, what about that Okiku girl? He's like, I bet she tastes better than trout. I'm like, oh my.
I'd fucking hope so.
Yeah.
Damn, nigga, shit.
Like, we see what time you on, Ninja.
Oh, come on. Ninja been about that. He like, if you get some, you know I'm a figment of you, so I get some, big brother.
Yes, just go do that. It's like, yes, I know demon time.
Of course he is. Nigga, at this point, this nigga is a demon.
Right? And so, I don't know why, but Afro, he telling him, like, yo, yeah, son, you need to go clap the cheeks. And then son pulls up the, oh my goodness, chopsticks. I'm like, why is that escaping me? He's like, Ninja back. He's like, I. So Ninja dips and it's like, yo, I'm over here cracking up.
Yo.
So we get another flashback to young Afro.
Yeah, Afro with the group selling stuff, but he overhears a warrior, people talking about the number 2 warrior in town.
Yeah, son. Once he heard that,
yeah, he follows the dude going into the brothel house in the entertainment district, and he catches some dude like mid pipe, and then he like asking him about the number 2 headband and who the person is.
Yo, for real, that dude is clapping cheeks. He's like, yo,
I don't give a fuck. They murdered. All I heard in this whole scene was Dave Chappelle. They murdered my father. He said, I don't care what cheeks you clapping. You gonna tell me where the number 2 warrior is.
Yeah, he's like,
and that shit got hella dicey because the nigga didn't want to talk. So Afro started to stab this nigga up.
Yeah, because Sam was like, where is the number 2?
He kept slicing this man, but I mean, it's kind of early stages for Afro, so he sliced this man up, but he ain't killing the man. He like, if you want to get the job done, you got to get the job done. Push that shit further.
Right, and so Son went to pull out a gun on him, he called him a little cocksucker, and sliced him up again.
Shit. He like, bro, if you gonna maybe suffer like that, I'ma die. And he proceeds to pretty much kill himself on that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So right off the jump, Afro is now haunted by his actions and the shit he been through. Which I mean, at this point, like, come on.
For real, it's like, yo, the dude tell him, like you said before he killed himself, like, if you're gonna kill somebody, finish the job.
Yep.
And Afro seeing all this, seeing him killed himself, and
the blood just running through. He's like, yo, I've seen a lot of blood.
Mm-hmm. So at this point, you know, Afro is just more traumatized than he already is.
Yep.
More fucked up than he already is at this point. Because now he's having flashbacks into what happened to his pops and so justice and all this shit.
So now we're shifting back into the present where Afro is starting to feel better, but he's being watched. But then finds out and takes care of, like, there was some random robo ninja or something that was watching him, and he was like taking it upon himself that he thought Afro was weak enough to, you know, go jump him again. Afro handles that and takes care of him before anyone noticed because he was talking mad loud on the phone, so he got caught slipping.
Yep. Afro was like,
he handles that, and then he goes to pay Okiko for her services, but she don't want the money, and she wants him to stay for a little while longer.
Yep. She's like, I'm leaving tomorrow. She's like, nah, you hold that.
She said, hold that, and then stay for a little bit longer, and you be like, okay, what's going on? So
like, say less.
Yeah, in fact, if you're on Ninja time, then yeah, say less for sure. Shit. So Afro. So we shift back to Afro as a kid. Talks to the master about the number 2, and the master just talks to him and just yells at him, talk about breaking the cycle of violence and all that shit that be going down with the headband and the dangers of wanting the headband and shit like that.
Yep. He's like, do you really know what it means to be number 2? It's just a life of danger.
I mean, he wasn't wrong. Everybody wanting to smoke.
Yep. He's like, oh yeah, you gotta break the chain.
Yep. So we shift off to this lady giving everybody something to drink. She calls it pretty much swamp water. She gives all the drink out to all the children, and none of the children can stand it. But Afro seems to be chugging this shit down. He enjoys it, and she calls that shit lemonade. So now we know his affection for lemonade is stemmed from.
Yeah. So he's like, lemonade? It's like lemonade.
Lemonade? Shit.
He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, this the shit.
Yep. So as he enjoys this shit, the brothers of the guy that he pulled up on while he was clapping cheeks and murdered him earlier, they pull up on Afro as a kid. And they like, all right, we here to avenge our brother because this little kid, once he pulled out the blade, he became a man. So he ready to take this ass whooping like a man.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, you killed my brother, you little fucker.
Yep.
Come here.
Yup. And then this time, Afro ready for the smoke. Since he been through all this shit enough, he ready to cut some niggas. So he split them off one by one and started using strategy to cut these niggas.
Yep. Hitting it with using the lemonade.
Facts. And then as he started to get jumped, his friends show up to help.
Stole his sword, and first dude stole his sword and clipped him with it.
Yup.
Next dude spit lemonade in his face, clipped him.
Yup.
Cut off one dude's arm. Yo, he is out here just destroying.
Shit, that's Master say all that hoeing came for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So his friends show up to help. He's going to handle the situation, and the guy informs him that as they got pretty much knocked out everybody, there was like one guy left, and the guy informs him that there's already a new number 2, like the old number 2 already got clapped in the middle of the streets. Like this is the life, just like the master said. Once you number 2, you living in hell no matter where you go. This guy pulled up, he probably came in here for a meal and now he clapped. And now there's a new number 2 already.
Yep. It was like the brats is about that action because they was working too.
Yep. So shifting off of that, we back with Afro in the present. He cuts through the forest and we kind of find Okiku on the phone talking with old 37 and And Okiku, we find out, is a double agent. She working for the org. She op.
Which we kind of suspected.
Yeah, pretty much. We was wondering who the fuck is taking care of this nigga. And she was talking about this is an organization with the house and they take care of all these other people, but I ain't see nobody else around. So you set all this shit up for one person? Right,
and Afro peeped.
Yeah, I was like, that's not so. When he cut through the forest and he pulled up on her, I assumed at that point that he heard the whole conversation because she freaked out. So this nigga was already knowing.
Yep. So son was like, "Oh shit."
Yep. But Ninja, you know what time he on, and he talking about messing with her.
And so Ninja is asking him like, "Yo, you clapped them sheets yet?" Ninja's like, "If you don't, I will." I'm like, God.
Like you said, Ninja is on what kind of time?
Demon time.
Yup. Shit, that finna be the name of the episode, Demon Time.
Yo, for real.
Shit. So shifting off from that, we got Okiku. So she pull up with the lemonade and they relax and they watch the fireworks because Afro decided to stick around. So they go and chill off and do all that shit. And then right after the fireworks, they go straight to the action. So he was definitely on that demon time. He listened to Ninja and worked that shit. So they go straight to having sex. And then they got music in the background. That sound like some R&B shit. Yo. In the midst of this shit, she tries to kill him, but the nut game too strong.
Dropped the whole weapon, the whole headset knife and everything.
This feels like some 70s Action Jackson type shit going down, where you pipe a girl so strong that she tried to murder you, but she too caught up in the game to do anything. This gave me like Austin Powers vibes, where he always be freaking the girls that always want to kill him in some assassin shit, but they say your mojo too strong.
Yeah, it was over for her. She
facts. The moment Masa hit the right stroke, she was like, nah. She forgot all about the mission, all about the game. Yeah, she was ready to turn over a new leaf.
What was I supposed to be doing? Oh, whatever.
Turned over a whole new leaf.
Yeah. Pipe game that reform old girl.
Oh, facts. Changed her whole life. Shit, Ninja was in the back like, hey, that's my butt.
Yep, she done gave her old life. I'm like, okay.
Yup. So after the piping was finished and they was all Gucci, the girl decided, she was like, I ain't about this life no more. I just want to save you, Afro. It's all about you. And then we find out this is Osariu, the little girl from all them years ago that was growing up with in the orphanage with him. So she was long ago, but I guess she working for the ops now. And then she tries to save him, but it's kind of too late in the situation because she already like downloaded his performance moves and shit like that, and she was about to send out the data, but she decided against it. But then in the midst of that shit, they already had the place surrounded, so they already done bust through the whole situation.
So all the clones started attacking, and so now she's trying to protect Afro.
Yup.
And then shoot, they murk her.
Damn, son, get caught slipping.
Like, oh my goodness, man.
Oh well, goddamn.
And they was like, "You fucking whore! This is the price you pay for your betrayal." I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Damn, they did to Afro again."
Yup, another one of his past.
So they grabbed the chip, all the data,
and they get to going.
They burning up shit and destroying shit.
Yup.
And I'm like, yo.
And
then those bitches run off. Man, listen.
Now they got the perfect talent for that shit, so they run off. And I mean, that's the Afro once again, as it always flows for him. He's left in the aftermath of dealing with more fucked up shit.
He carried old girl's body off somewhere, and then we just see him walking off. And then here come Ninja, and they talk about, damn, son. As soon as you start getting your groove on, shit go left.
Facts. You talking about bad times, but Afro keeps the memento of old girl. He got that thing kept on him.
Yeah, he put the clip in the hair after he does so to hear your Afro's a little scorched, buddy.
Yep. Snigger ninja. He like, yo, Afro kind of scorched. You gonna handle that? You gonna take care of that anytime soon?
Yep.
So they walk off into the distance, and then we get to be continued as the story continues and the instrumental plays, and that wraps up the second episode.
It definitely does, and that's how we end episode 2.
Yep. So my final impressions again, this series is bonkers. Def giving a modern feel to the samurai genre, and it being the warrior and all, but the enemies being extra, the twists and just the dark flashbacks and everything. Shit is wild. Def would recommend continuing for sure with this weird presence. I just like the mere fact that, in comparison to, once again, I'm just going to keep bringing this up because this is the other black samurai we have. But in comparison to Yasuke, I just like the mere fact that none of this story revolves around his skin color.
Nope.
Like none of this is specifying that he's black. It's just a samurai dealing with this stuff. Like even in the orphanage, they never like bring out the fact that he got black skin and nothing like that. They don't treat him different because he's black and nothing like that. He's just another orphan. He just happened to be black. And with an afro. It's not even, they call him Afro Samurai because that's his hair. Like it's not, they didn't give him a slave name, they didn't give him nothing that got anything to do with him being black. He's just a black character.
Exactly. So it's just like he's there, he's a black character.
Yeah.
He's a samurai, he's an orphan, but
that's it.
They don't dwell on it at all.
They don't call him the N-word. They don't devise that. They don't try and clean his skin. They don't try none of that shit. So,
like, not one derogatory remark by the enemies.
So, and this came out in 2007. So why the fuck in double digits of 2020 and all this other shit that's dropping are we having to deal with this commentary of this stuff?
I don't know what to tell you.
Especially Especially when the people behind the works are black, so I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Especially if I feel like once again we're gonna talk about LaShawn for a second because I'm a rant. What did he watch this at all? Because I would have just taken tips from this. Like I feel like he took the weird tips of what's going on in a society. Like they never gave us like the timeline or anything that's going on, so that just gives them free range. I think Yasuke fucked themselves up the moment they gave us a timeline.
True.
Like we don't even know if we're like dealing with Earth. We just see these niggas are Earthlings, kinda, but we don't know what the hell we're dealing with. So that just kind of gives them a leading layoff to go on to just continue with their shit. And then once again, this anime is 5 episodes, where Yasuke was already too long for their own good.
That's true. That is definitely true.
Like I can't stress this over. If y'all needed a black samurai anime, this was it.
Yeah, this was it.
This was it. This is literally it. This is literally it. We didn't need that. We didn't need that. We didn't need that other one.
We did not need that other one at all. It was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, y'all didn't even want to keep it like historical accurate or at all. Y'all just kept fucking around with messed up shit. So I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know.
So
The more we keep looking back at Yasuke, the more it's looking further down the pole. Even though somehow it got an award, which I don't understand.
I had my eyebrows raised at Yasuke when I first watched it, but now watching Afro Samurai, I really
know.
like what the fuck.
In whole comparison, this makes it so much worse.
It really does. Yo, oh man, LaShawn, why?
I don't like, son, bro. You. This is your second work. You had to come correct. Hell, once again, you took the philosophy from this shit because you got a prominent high actor in the shit to do the work. Samuel L. Jackson was in the booth making comedy, making all this shit, and then you had Lakeith Stanfield in your shit, and it's like, bro, it's night and day.
For real, it really is.
He did it like it just really seems like he just did everything wrong.
It's like nothing here was justified in Yasuke.
It really wasn't because when you look at all this shit, you're good. I don't know. It was shorter, cleaner, older. The story was written on smarter. I don't know, man. This just pointed out a lot better. So I don't know. So go off with your final impressions while I finish this rant.
Okay, so now after this second episode, I was invested. I'm in.
Yeah.
Ninja got me.
Oh,
I was like, listen,
Ninja had me from before, but yeah.
The first episode, I was like, Now this by the second episode finished, I was like, okay, I'm with it. This some wild shit, but I'm with it.
Big facts.
So I'm definitely looking to see where the rest of this goes. Seeing as I only have 3 episodes left.
Yeah, 3 episodes, and then if anything, if anybody want to continue off, there's also a movie, the Afro Samurai Resurrection movie as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is going to be a little interesting ride. Okay.
Yep.
So much better than Yasuke right now. Right with these 2 episodes alone.
Yeah. This was years ago. I don't understand. I don't understand. If it wasn't for this goes back to our conversation about streaming platforms and them giving rights to everything, because I don't feel like we could have seen Yasuke on the same TV networks as we saw Afro Samurai. Like how Afro Samurai blended between like MTV and Bravo and Spike. I don't think Yasuke was the cult favorite that it could have been to be put on all these other stuff. I think because we have streaming and they want all this content, I think that just worked out very well for that.
And I think that's why those cons we were talking about streaming is that everything gets some kind of shine because everybody's just looking for content. It don't even have to be necessarily good content. Yeah.
They can promote shit all they want, but nah, bro, that fell through.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Shit.
Definitely, bro. It's like, whew.
Yep. So,
LaShawn, that wasn't it.
Nope. But on our LaShawn attacking quota, we're gonna close the book on Afro Samurai now. Definitely well recommended, and we'll shift over. So our preview chat of next episode, we're gonna be doing the review. We back on the comfy couch, and we're gonna be tackling the Steve Harvey Show, a classic, episode 1 and 2.
I said it's Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey in the house. Big suit, big smile, big city.
Yes.
Shit, we back in this shit. So, all right, we got an email set up. So if y'all got any comments, concerns, LaShawn, you can find us at blerdbynature@gmail.com if you want to chat about your bullshit and trying to change up the game. Facebook and Instagram at Blerd By Nature. Twitter at Blerd By Nature, N8TURE. Co-host, hit us with the YouTube.
Listen, LaShawn, if you want to leave a comment, you can search for us on YouTube by searching for Blerd By Nature Podcast.
We see you. So, upcoming Nature, we still working on a couple of things. We looking at so I officially, are we looking at season 2 coming up real soon?
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, because April's around the corner, so it's looking like we're shifting. So we're gonna be moving into our next transition and stuff, working on get stuff moving, and we'll get all that together. We chat and we growing the next skills on the podcast.
Yeah, so changes are coming.
Yep. So any last notes before the outro?
No, I think we're good.
Good.
Hit us with the outro.
All right, man. Thanks for joining us today from Black Thought to Nerd Power. This is Nicholas, Mr. Go with the Flow.
And this is the man with the plan, Maurice.
And this was another edition of the Blerd By Nature Podcast. We out.
Till next time, everyone. LaShawn, stop fucking up.
Facts, man.
Peace.
Seriously. Peace. Except for him.
Definitely.